I want to do a quick thought right before church. I'm going to be leaving in 15 minutes, but um, this is actually jumping. Oh, I'm sorry, Seneca. Jumping back to letter 55. I'm pretty sure I didn't discuss this one. At least not this specific thing that I'm talking about. And it's just something that I posted this quote on Twitter. It'll always be Twitter in my heart, never X. Um, That was an apolitical statement, by the way. It had nothing to do with liking or disliking Elon Musk. Anyway, um, I posted this on Twitter just because I thought it was interesting, but I never made a video about it, expounding on anything like that. But so the quote is: "Soft living imposes on us the penalty of debility. We cease to be able to do the things we've long been grudging about doing." So I think that's a pretty I think that's true. It's one of those things that's like it's obviously true, but you can kind of think about it in more detail. So there's a concept called learned helplessness. You see this a lot with people that are in some form or another. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, they have some level of like physical disability, and in part because they kind of feel sorry for themselves. They grow in time to be less and less capable of doing things because they're not willing to. They have other people that do it for them, so they just kind of can no longer do those things. Of course, that is not the case with all invalids by a long shot, probably, but it's. I'd say it's probably easier to fall into than you might think. Um, it's something that you really kind of need to be on the lookout for. Self pity is something that you always want to be on the lookout for. It's easy to fall into that kind of thing, and the effects of it can be very very destructive. But anyway, so the idea that I don't have a bookmark, I already closed it, so I can't reread it. But the idea that like luxury can make us dependent on certain things. And I am definitely not excluding myself in this. In fact, I'm probably one of the worst ones at this. But it is something to be aware of is that there are are things that we grow dependent on, uh, especially in our current age of modern technology. One example is how many of us know how to farm, but that would have been true for I don't know, at least 500 years, really more than 500 years if you count the aristocracy. People that have absolutely no idea how to farm, so they wouldn't be able to be self sufficient. Um, but we grow dependent on even even entertainment, as and this is one thing that I'm very bad at is like it's very difficult. It becomes very difficult to just kind of sit and be bored. In my case, I have a hard time with silence. I've for the most part always been this way, but I really kind of need to fill the silence with music or podcasts or something like that. And I've grown kind of dependent on that to some level. But then you have like the physical things. I grow dependent on other people building my shelter. I've never even when I was a kid, I put up a tent once in a while, but rarely. I wouldn't be able to build my own house. Um, Getting from one place to another, without cars, life would be a lot more difficult now. I don't know how to train a horse. I'd rather not. I think if I had the option between a horse and a bicycle, I'd probably choose a bicycle. But even then, they've got a bicycle. They didn't have bicycles in ancient Rome. Um, and I don't know exactly what to do with that knowledge because it's not like, um, it's not like the result should be, oh, we should all become Amish. You know, I, we live in the we should I think there's some merit to taking advantage of the technology that we have. There's also some merit to saying, hey, let's try to make ourselves the best possible versions of ourselves so that we can be as versatile in our lives as we need to be. I guess I probably should have thought this through a little bit more before I decided to make a video so that I could be more precise in what I mean. But I think people understand what I'm saying. Is that it's worth thinking about the if we have convenience of modern luxuries. Um, oh, actually, here's a good example: DoorDash. I somehow got into the habit of cooking less for myself and ordering DoorDash a lot more. And I decided, for a few reasons, I want to stop doing that. And the straw that broke the camel's back that actually got me decided, okay, I'm going to cook for myself more. I got sick of getting wrong orders. It was just annoying. It's frustrating. So paid $30 and got one third of what I paid for. It was just I got sick of that. So I said, okay, I'm going to really double down and start, cooking for myself because I had grown dependent on something that wasn't even reliable. So that's just kind of one kind of thing that I'm trying to think of a way to put this. I had the things that I was grudging about doing, which is cooking, and what I was really grudging about is uh, cleaning the dishes. I really hate that. There was a part of me that had been no longer capable of doing those things just because I'd gotten so used to, oh, I could just so easily just push a button and get food delivered to my door. So um, anyway, so that's the interesting part, I guess. Let's see if I can get back to it. Um, oh, I'm almost there. No, I wasn't. I wasn't 60. 65. Oh, yeah. So, I got to it quicker than I thought I would. Sorry for the dead air. So just to requote it, soft living imposes on us the penalty of debility. If we don't have to do the work, we we lose the ability to do the work. We cease to be able to do things we've long been grudging about doing. We're just no longer able to do it. Things that we need to do but are bad at doing, or that's not what I'm meant to say. Things that we need to do but are difficult to doing. We get some new innovation that means we no longer need to do those things. Well, then we forget how to do it, and when those things are no longer around, we struggle to be able to do anything. We struggle to be able to do those things that we once did.